Things just took a major turn for the New York Yankees as there has been a lot of discussion surrounding this team and the starting pitching going in to the upcoming MLB playoffs. So the Yankees are expected to be a wild card team, and with that in mind, there is a wild card pitcher for that third spot, because as we know, it's no secret that Max Fried and Carlos Rodon are going to be the top two options for the Yankees when it comes to starting pitching. They're going to pitch Fried and Rodon as much as they can. Both of them will be pitching probably, if the Yankees can make the World Series upwards of 5 times in the playoffs, they're going to be workhorsed. They're also likely going to find their way into some shorter games as well, where the Yankees try to ultimately use the bullpen because how short of rest they'll both be on. But you can't use a pitching rotation with just 2 pitchers. You at least need one more. And with the Yankees almost certainly playing in a wild card round, meaning there's going to be more baseball to be played for them this playoffs in comparison to last one, there's a lot of discussion surrounding what happens if the Yankees don't win the first 2 wild card games right now, which are supposed to be against the Houston Astros. And the Yankees have obviously been atrocious against the Astros throughout the playoffs over the past decade or so. So obviously there's a lot to consider with this situation and who the Yankees are ultimately going to go to, as after Fried and Rodon, 2 all-star pitchers, the next 3 guys up are all very, very young and do not have a great deal or any playoff experience whatsoever. So things are very much really heating up, and now they've taken a wild turn. It's just a few weeks ago, it was pretty guaranteed who it was going to be, but now things are starting to change. And guys, before we fully dive into everything, if you're part of that 73% that's not subscribed to Yankees Digest, make sure to subscribe for daily New York Yankees updates. We've got a lot of great videos coming out for you every single day. Myself and Alex are on that grind. The playoff push is coming, we know, because the weather's getting a little chillier, which is rare because technically it's still summer for 3 more days. I'm holding on so tight, man. I hate cold weather so much. But at the same time, what that also means is that playoffs and then free agency are coming around. So it's an exciting time to be a New York Yankees fan. They always have a chance to win a World Series as long as you can make the playoffs. But that's not what this video is about. Actually, it kind of is. It is about making the World Series and, the playoffs. But it's not about subscribing to Yankees Digest, though you should anyway. The big thing here is the New York Yankees. A couple weeks ago, it felt like Cam Schlittler was a guarantee to be the guy who they were going to go to for that third option, or that third pitcher, just considering how damn good he was. Luis Gil started a bit slowly after finally coming back from the injury, and Will Warren has had that elevated ERA and has struggled over time for a little bit, despite the fact that he is overall a good pitcher and looks like he's got a great future with the Yankees. Schlittler looks like he's going to be someone who absolutely has a very long-term future with the Yankees as one of the best pitchers on the team, and he's shown that all year long. I mean, the man has been great throughout his time with the team. So far this season, when he got brought up, which he wasn't expected to have happen this year, he's at a 3.41 ERA with a 3-3 record and a 1.3 WAR. He's got 69 strikeouts in 60.2 innings pitched. He's been such a great surprise for the Yankees, but recently he did not have a good game at all. Just yesterday against the Minnesota Twins on September 16th, Schlittler struggled mightily, giving up 4 earned runs in 4.2 innings and walking 5 guys. He still did get 6 strikeouts, as the guy is an excellent strikeout pitcher, there's no doubt about it, but it was just not his best showing whatsoever, and that obviously was unideal for the Yankees for a million reasons. Now, on top of that, the Yankees, 4 of their runs did come from, Ryan Yarbrough having an incident, but when it comes down to it, Schlittler really should have pitched better, and he didn't, and there's been a lot of questioning surrounding what happens with him and the Yankees in the playoffs, and Ben Joyce said the Yankees still have to clinch a playoff berth, which is likely to be a wild card spot at this point, but then they can begin to think more about what their rotation will look like for that opening postseason series. Max Fried and Carlos Rodon are the obvious first 2 starters, but if and when they need someone for Game 3, Schlittler has genuinely put himself in the mix. But the pitching the way he did to close out his outing on Tuesday, unable to make it out of the 5th inning after being staked to a 9-run lead, will not help his case. Now, he even spoke on this saying, let up the home run and then try to get too picky when you're up 7 runs. It's embarrassing, but you got to get in the zone, especially with that lead. So he's not taking things too lightly. Schlittler is being his worst critic, or his biggest critic, I should say, which is what you want out of one of your future franchise players. But obviously, at the end of the day, he is very young. He doesn't have that much MLB experience. To throw him into the playoffs right now is definitely a risk. So the Yankees have to figure out what exactly they want to do. And to me, the answer does seem pretty clear. We see Will Warren, who's had a good season. Don't get me wrong. It hasn't been as good as Schlittler's at all, but it's been good. He's got a 4.44 ERA, which isn't great, but he's got 160 strikeouts in 152 innings pitched, and his whip isn't terrible by any means. He's still getting it together, and he's been not consistent for the Yankees, but he's had very good runs for the Yankees for a bit. He's had moments where he had that 5-6 game stretch where he had a 1.80 ERA. He's had great moments with the Yankees already, and he's got a lot of room to grow in the future as well. But we also just look at Will Warren's recent performance, which doesn't give us too much excitement, with a 1-2 record with an ERA of 5.40. And though he does have 17 strikeouts in that time, again, the ERA is at 5.40. Will Warren is one of those guys that no matter what, he's going to strike a lot of people out. Similar to Schlittler, I cannot say his name to save my life. It's like a mental block. It gives me a headache. But when it comes to it, Will Warren is someone who I don't really trust right now. Who I do trust is Luis Gil. Luis Gil is having a downright awesome season after a bit of a shaky start coming off the injury to his oblique. He's been great. He's got a 4-1 record, a 2.83 ERA in the 8 games and 8 starts that he's had. He's pitched 41.1 innings and has 34 strikeouts with a whip of 1.403 because he is getting some walks up there. But at the end of the day, he is still getting it together. But Luis Gil is the guy you go with in this situation. There's no doubt about it. Over his last 5 games, he's got a 1.65 ERA and 20 strikeouts. So the man is doing great. He's really, really pitching very well right now. And this is who you go with in this situation, because he's accumulated 3 wins for himself and hasn't taken a loss as well. So Luis Gil has been the guy for the Yankees. There's a reason why he's the reigning Rookie of the Year. Now, he does have the injury concerns. Luis Gil's always had the injury concerns, and it does definitely concern me, because basically he's going into the playoffs having not pitched a whole lot. So you wonder, how many innings can he really go? Can he do 6 to 7 innings per outing in the playoffs? Is he going to be able to handle that? He didn't really pitch a ton in the playoffs. It didn't really pitch too well in the playoffs last time around as well, which is something to keep in mind. But he does have that playoff experience. He's been on a team that made the World Series. For every reason possible, Luis Gil is the guy you go with as your third starter. He's the most trustworthy one just because, again, he's been here before and he's also shown that he's a great pitcher with the Yankees. We don't have to worry about him gassing out like he did last season because he's only going to be pitching for a little bit. And then, yeah, you maybe want to throw in Schlittler or Will Warren as a 4th starter once or twice. But for right now, where things stand, I think the perfect option is definitely going forwards Luis Gil for that playoff role. It just makes the most sense to go Fried, Rodon, Gil, or even Fried, Gil, Rodon, or Rodon, Gil, Fried. You don't put Fried third, but because you could go lefty, righty. But at the end of the day, with pitching, it doesn't matter. And also, I mean, in the wild card, you're pitching Fried and Rodon the first 2 games. You're not holding off on one of them, like, just in case we lose. That's not how you play baseball. That's not how you do it. That's how losing teams play. You put your best pitchers at front forwards, especially because, say the Yankees, let's just say, for argument's sake of this whole situation, that what we see happen is the Yankees end up being in the wildcard game. Let's say they play the Astros like they're expected to right now. Let's say they beat the Astros. Let's just say Fried loses the game, Rodon wins the game, game 3, Gil pitches. That means you get Fried and Rodon back earlier. It means you could just pitch them more. So you obviously go with them over Luis Gil. But you do put Luis Gil as your third starter, if you ask me. Then after that, if you find yourself in the divisional series and you're playing the Toronto Blue Jays, you want Fried and Rodon ready as soon as humanly possible because you're going to want them to throw at least 2 games in that series. I mean, let's say, again, Fried starts the first game, because if you're starting him the first game of the wild card, you're not going to mess with it after, considering the rest in that situation. So you start Fried game 1, you start Rodon game 2, Gil game 3, and then you figure out, can Fried go for game 4, or do we hold off for game 5? Do we have to put in Will Warren or Schlittler in this situation? Do we trust them? Do we throw Yarbrough in there? So it's something the Yankees are going to have to figure out just based off how everything goes with this wild card series. The Yankees are almost certainly going to be in the wild card unless they sweep the Blue Jays, so that's going to be something they have to focus on. They also just have to keep winning out, basically. So we're going to see what that happens. Likely we're going to be seeing the Yankees in the wild card game, but I'm going to keep believing because this season's been so damn weird that it feels like the one the Yankees would win the World Series. And guys, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you later. Go Yankees.